about 11:30 at night, 2 nights before we were about to leave for the beach for fall break. I was falling asleep and suddenly I get this phone call, which is really obnoxious because it woke me up, right? And it was a FaceTime request from 3 of my friends that were about to come on this beach trip with me. So my first thought was, okay, one of them is about to drop out because they're kind of flaky like that. Then I was like, okay, I'll just answer. I answer, and keep in mind I'm drowsy. They're over here screaming about this lady named Georgia. And I was like, well, who the heck is Georgia? Georgia's the owner of the Airbnb they are planning to stay in because they wanted to leave a night earlier and get this Airbnb from Georgia so we could stay an extra night. And I was like, so down for that plan. And so Georgia only allows 2 people on Airbnb, but we had 4. So we were like, okay, well, we can just sleep 2 to a bed. It'll be fine. There are 2 beds. And so we decided to send a message to Georgia just in hopes that she would let us stay there. So we did. The next day, she approved of it too. We were really stoked. We were leaving for the beach a day earlier. The next day, we got up. We left for the beach. About an hour and a half into the drive, we were jamming No Hands and stuff. Michelle was like, everybody shut up. And we were like, what's going on? She was like, I have a call from Georgia. So Georgia calls Michelle. Michelle answers, and she's like, and Georgia says, so y'all only have 2 guests, right? Because that's all I'm allowing in this house. And Michelle was like, we were all looking at each other like, okay, who's about to sleep in this car? And Michelle was like, oh no, man, we have 4. And so she was like, oh, okay. I read that message, but she was like, okay, we'll just see what y'all do what you can do when y'all get here. So on the car ride down there for the whole next 6 hours, we were figuring out how are we gonna scheme this lady into letting all 4 of us stay. We were like, maybe we can guilt trip her. So we were saying that we were gonna come up to the door and say, oh, well, maybe just 2 of us can just sleep in the car. And if Georgia has a heart, then maybe she wouldn't let us do that, right? We come up to the door. The sweetest old lady opens the door. And she was like, oh my goodness, it's so good to see the 4 of y'all. So automatically we were kind of excited that she was probably letting us in. She gave us a little tour of the house and she was like, are y'all sure y'all want to all 4 sleep in this bed? We had no other options. So there we were, the 4 of us piled on the bed like sardines, diagonally, or not diagonally, horizontally. And I guess the moral of my story is it all worked out in the end, but it was the most uncomfortable sleep I've ever had. So don't wait until the last minute to get your Airbnbs.